Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of Real Spit. I'm your host, Spitty. We right back at it. And first, I just want to start out by just thanking everybody for tuning in to all the past episodes, showing love, leaving comments, and giving me dope ideas for new topics to go through. This episode is sponsored by A Nature, a hair care system. This is to women, get your edges right. Fellas, and women, get your hair moisturized, hair follicles growing back, and just everything on point, hair wise. So, you see a lot of products out here that's killing our hair follicles, that's, just not doing us right. So you need something right, tap in with A Nature. Shout out to them. And we got some good people in the building today, got some good energy in the room. So just want to get this thing started with it being men's mental health month. And mental health is, such an important topic, such an important thing for us to be talking about, especially amongst men, because there's such a stigma when it comes to men. I feel like black men for sure, in terms of being in tune with your mental health and identifying what you're going through. Men are, normally viewed as being leaders, being providers, having to be stoic, looking to move in a certain way and almost not allowed to express your feelings. In this day and age, like where we at with it, we're really understanding that it's so important for all of us to be able to identify like what we dealing with, what's going on with us. I want to make sure that we, definitely tap into that. For me, the word mental health, it's like a buzzword now, but I know a few years back, I guess really started paying more attention to my mental health, understanding that, I was working myself like a dog, these different companies that I was, working for, working in the music industry, working in the entertainment industry at these labels and with these artists and things like that. You can almost forget that it's a job. We love what we do. We work in the art. We fulfilling our dreams. So a lot of times in doing that, we're willing to do, like work excessively, work strenuous hours, not be in tune with our bodies in terms of like what we're eating, getting enough sleep, things like that. For a lot of us, or just for a lot of people in general, that's the detriment. You know what I mean? A lot of us, are finding ourselves finding out that we have anxiety or, having high blood pressure, getting diabetes and, different things like that based off of what we eating, not getting enough rest and things like that. And then also one of the most important aspects of mental health is, even identifying like your triggers, identifying like some of the things that are even causing you to, deal with certain things within within your mental health. My goal with this platform is really to, step out, talk about this topic a lot more, not only with men, but with women as well. Because it's something that's just so important for us to identify. It's something that we shouldn't be afraid to talk about or shouldn't feel ashamed of. I remember a couple of years ago, I forget the young lady that was in the Olympics. She had decided that she just wanted to step away for that particular Olympics. I remember, even myself, I remember saying like remarks like, man, this young generation, they don't, folks don't understand like the opportunities that they got in front of them. And if that was me in that position, I would go out there and go for the gold and, all of that. But as some time went by and as I really started paying attention more and identifying, like what mental health is, I truly understood what she was going through and how you taking care of yourself is the most important thing over, achieving any type of goals or medals or accolades, things like that. Like we never know what people are going through. And we all going through something, you know what I mean? Like everybody has something, that they dealing with on a daily basis. I remember seeing a post on the gram where it showed like all these cars in traffic and it was like text over each car and it was like, this person just lost their mom, this person just got fired from their job, this person's kid just got bullied at school, this person just got laid off, and it was basically just showing that at the end of the day, all of us are going through something. But we have to be willing to identify those things, take the proper steps, fixing and adjusting those things that we're dealing with. So, for me, like some of the personal battles, some of the things that I've, dealt with my mental health, or when I really like identified it, was, when my mom passed away. That was a time where that no, it's all good. Um, but that was a time when I actually took time to understand, like it's more than just going to work every day. It's more than just making sure that, the bottom line is being covered. I mean, the bottom line is important. Bills got to get paid, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if you're not strong and if you're not there mentally, then you're not able to, do anything for anybody around you. It's kind of like when you get on the airplane, tell you, something happens, the mask drop down, make sure that you put your mask on first and then help other people around you. Like you have to first make sure that you good and that you're functioning properly so that then you can help the other people around you and so that you can help to make, the other people around you stronger. Some of my triumphs, within the mental health space, or I don't even know if that's the right way to say it, but I know for me it was, eating better, like eating high vibrational food. I remember I started walking on a regular basis. That was like probably the first thing that I started doing, was walking every day, getting sunlight, prayer. Y'all, I'm not a religious freak, but y'all definitely hear me on here talking about praying and making sure to just give that just due to the to our highest power. So definitely make sure to do that. And then also exercising, working out, that became my like one of my new addictions. You know what I mean? Is it's like a day don't even feel right if I don't hit the gym. But that's where I'm able to push that different aggression out. That's where if I had a bad day, working out is gonna make me forget about it, and I'm able to, really go in the gym. So that's what I love to do. Now, some things that people should do to, help to figure out, or help to get through what they're dealing with their mental health. I feel like, go to therapy. That's also something that I did that really helped me out too. Therapy has, a stigma to it as well. I mean, I even had a conversation with one of my uncles where, he was telling me the older generation don't believe in sharing your problems and, telling your business and all that. So I had an uncle who was telling me that he thought therapy was silly and thought that it was for the weak, because it's like if you can't get through like what you dealing with on your own, or communicate with whoever you dealing with, or having an issue with, then, that almost means that you weak. But I think that stigma has to stop, because you need somebody who's not connected to what you're dealing with and who can give you a different perspective, and somebody who's not going to just pat you on the back and say, oh, it's going to be okay. It's going to, you know what I mean? Like you need somebody who's going to give you like some critical feedback on what you're dealing with and help you to, push through your issues. I've met people who have gone through 2, 3, 4, 5 different therapists, until they actually found the right person for them. So, whatever you have to do in terms of that, you got to do it, but it's super important. Also, making sure that you just simple things like breathing techniques. I found that things as simple as taking, 5 deep breaths, 10 deep breaths, when I'm dealing with something, and before I actually give somebody an answer or before I react to something, is something that has helped me out so much, and something that just makes me feel better. Grounding is another thing. Somebody put me on to that about a year ago, where you just take your shoes off, put your feet in some grass, and just become one with the earth, because the earth generates energy. And so when you take your shoes off, put your feet in the earth, that energy from the earth, goes, through your body, and then even the energy through your body connects with the earth. So that's another good thing that you should do in terms of just connecting more with the universe, being able to, get through some of your problems, some of your issues, things like that. And another thing is check on your peoples. Again, with this being Men Mental Health Month, check on your peoples, check on your family, and for real, check on your strong friends, because the people that you call on, the people that you depend on, the people that you are reaching out to give you advice and things like that, a lot of times they don't have somebody that they can, reach out to. They don't have somebody to pour into them the way that they may give you that energy and help you with what you're going through. So I would definitely say make sure, reach out to your strong friends, check on them. And you know what I mean? Like if it's somebody you haven't talked to in a minute and they cross your mind, call them, because it is probably meant for you to talk to them, tap in and see what's good. For everybody out there that's dealing with anything mental health wise, don't be afraid to express it. Don't be afraid to, work on it. Don't be afraid to, go to therapy. Don't be afraid to just communicate what you're going through, because you might find that somebody else going through the same thing or something similar, or that somebody close to you may be able to just give you some good perspective and help you to push through. And that's real spit.